Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome back to 10 Count. I'm Steve Fall, but on today's edition, I am talking to the Kick Demon. That's right. You got to watch out for those feet. Janai, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. But you've just recently come back from Japan. You were working with Tokyo. Don't want to say that name wrong. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. How did this deal
Yeah.
come to be? Because I love working with them. I have had a few interviews already with the brand, but how did you get involved?
Oh man, this happened really kind of like out of nowhere in a sense. I don't know. This I didn't even know that I was going to be going until like a couple months ago. But I've been, wrestling a couple of the Joshis lately. And, this kind of happened after I wrestled Makito at
Mm.
JCW. And so I don't know, like I kind of had a feeling like, all right, like this is my time to really see, like to test myself to see if I can wrestle against, a Joshi and to also see if I can make this happen because this is a goal of mine. And so this is something that I've been trying to really speak into existence. And here we are now.
So the vision board came true for you.
Yeah,
So was that
yeah.
always your goal when you got into professional wrestling to work for Tokyo Joshi Pro, or was there somewhere else you wanted to end up, or how is this process going? Because obviously dreams are accomplished, but then what's next?
No, yeah, this has always been a goal of mine to actually wrestle in Japan.
Ah,
It started like basically day one of training. My trainer, like we all like kind of sat in a circle and she asked like, what do you guys want to do? Like, what is your goal in wrestling? And at first, I didn't really know what my goal was. Everyone was saying, "Oh, I want to get signed. I want to go here to this TV, whatever." And I honestly didn't have that in mind either. And so it took me a moment, and I guess like I think it was like the next day I texted my trainer and I was like, "Hey, I kind of thought about it. Like I want to wrestle in Japan. Like that's where I kind of see myself. Like I started watching more Japanese wrestling. I was like, "Oh, I like the style. Like this is kind of like up my alley, like my interest." And so I told my trainer that, and she was like, "You know what? Like you'll probably fit in really, really well. Just keep doing what you're doing and grow, and you can see yourself there."
wow, that's
Yeah,
again, people always envision dreams coming true, but clearly yours has already happened at such a young age too.
yeah.
Though when you went to Japan, what's the process like? Because do you the cultural significance of being there, and then do you understand what everyone's saying to you? Do you have an interpreter? Who's helping you out here?
Oh man. So yeah, I don't know if you saw, but I was going around a lot by myself. So it was easy to do that. When it came to talking to people or if I'm going to the store, it was kind of easy to figure out what they were saying in a sense because there was a lot of yes and no questions that they were asking in a sense. Like if I'm going to the store and I'm checking out, like I know if they're asking if I want a bag or if I'm going to use card or cash, like I can kind of sense if they are asking that. But if there was like anything else that they like conversation wise, I did have a translator app. And they
Oh,
do, yeah, they do have like some knowledge of English. So like they were
of
able to
course.
have like a little bit of a conversation with me. But other than that, like if I had a question in particular, I use my translator app and shout out to my translator app. Oh my God. I don't know what I would do without it. But like I was able to not only like, ask the questions that I wanted to ask, but I was able to like take pictures of signs and it would translate the sign.
Now that's an awesome app. What app are we
Yeah.
talking about here? Let's give a shout out. Which one is
This
it?
is called Papago.
Papago. Oh my God. Because,
Yeah.
anyone who goes to somewhere else, you're thinking, like I was in Montreal recently, and everyone mostly speaks English there, but some people were speaking
Yeah.
French to me. And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what's going. I think we're communicating on the same level of yes and no's, but I don't know what you're
Yeah.
saying to me in reality.
Yeah.
So pop and go. That's the app. We gotta everyone who wants to go because I know there are certain wrestlers, Zaya Brookside, Mariah
Mhm.
May, certain people like that who have come into stardom, for instance.
Yeah.
They didn't know the language. So they had
Yeah.
to they had to kind of figure it out. Obviously, the app may be the cheating they're using and not telling everybody.
No, yeah, maybe. Or yeah,
Mm.
like I was going around with the girls too, and like the girls they know some English, like they're practicing because they're gonna be coming over to LA as well. So
Yeah.
like they of course was practicing English with me, and I was helping them out. But yeah, there was times where I would like go around with them and they would help me out.
Hey, little help from my friends never hurts.
Yeah.
Though, when you perform in the ring, when you wrestle, your feet aren't completely covered. Like you got some tape on
Mhm.
them. You're not wearing boots. Now, I imagine not every floor is clean in every arena or every location you've gone to. You're walking around, you got no shoes on, no boots. Has there been a point in time where you're like, I am so excited for this match, and you walk out, you're like, shit! Oh my god, why? And it's like a Lego on the ground, like someone got you good. Has that ever happened? Because seeing someone barefoot always reminds me of you just throw some thumbtacks around me. Well, you can't get me.
Oh man. Okay, so I when I walk around in the back, I am wearing sandals. I will say that.
Oh, the mirage is over.
But like I will let you know, like when I'm working a GCW show, the ring and everything surrounding the ring is not the cleanest.
Mm.
There's been times where like there has been death matches before my match. And I'm like, well, how am I gonna do this? I already tape my feet up. Like I wear like this specific foot padding thing, and then I tape it up, so like I'm good to go. But then like when there's something like that happening, where there's like a death match before my match, I'm like, damn, all right. So I have to change the shoes now, and I hate wearing shoes. I hate wearing shoes when I wrestle. But like, I'm like, all right, should I go through the whole match, dealing with whatever glass, because I have done that before too. There has been like a little bit of glass in the ring, and it was nothing. I didn't feel it. I was able to do that, or if there were like thumbtacks or something major, I will put shoes on. But yeah, other than that, like in the back, I am wearing shoes. I'm being very cautious. I'm making sure people are aware, like, hey, my match is going to be later on. Can you please clean the ring or something for me? So I do let them know.
Do they in your contract before you go to these events it says floor must be clean before matchup? That should be people. You hear the stories of I want green M&Ms in I want sparkling water, the room temperature at this time. Yours is I need the floor clean.
Hey, at least that, please.
I'll supply the broom. You do the pushing. All right.
Yeah.
That should be your
Yes.
gimmick. Just come out with a broom. If you turn heel or
Yeah,
something, just
I should. You know what? You are giving me a good idea right now. I will keep
TM.
that in
I
mind.
just trademarked it. I just trademarked it. TM. So we're business partners now. You didn't
Yeah.
realize that was going to happen today, but it did. It did. Well, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw you because I stumbled upon you through a couple months ago on Twitter, and I was seeing your actions and your matches. I thought you had a great look, your hair, the feet, the even the mouth guard. Why the mouth guard? Like, is this a process of you knocked your teeth out before, or this is completes the look?
It's not even that I knocked my teeth out. It's just a lot of like accidentally biting the inside of my lip.
Well,
Yeah, it was just annoying at that point. And I know a lot of wrestlers can relate to that on just even like in the slightest, just bumping into somebody on accident in a match, and like the inside of your lip is cut up really badly. You can't eat anything for the next couple days because it just burns. And I was like, you know what? The kick demon, like the kick demon is a fighter. Like, let me see if I try this mouth guard on because I'm annoyed with the whole cutting the inside of my lip thing. So I put like the mouth guard on, which I'm used to because I have a martial arts background. And I was like, all right, let me play around with this. Like, let me make this a little bit more unique, more of like, okay, this is me. And that's when I started like playing around with like facial expressions and all of that.
because when I first saw that again, you have a look like again you're from top to bottom you're complete versus someone having mismatched like knee pads. You're like oh you're wearing black trunks like that's cool but like how do you stick out?
Oh
You
yeah.
you stick out from top to bottom and I just pray that no one ever throws Legos in front of you while walking to the ring. I fear that for you.
Yeah.
I will be
Yeah.
there. I'll be in the wings with that broom waiting to help. Hey, 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 hey,
Yes.
hey, hey, hey.
Yes. Yes, you'll be right behind me. You got my back.
I'll do it. I'll be there. You tell me when we're going to Japan. I will
Yeah.
be in
Yeah.
LA. I will be in LA March
Okay.
31st when Tokyo Joshi Pro comes to town. That would be
Perfect.
WrestleMania week if no one knows when these things are happening. But March 31st. Now again, how does this come to be? Because you worked with them in Japan and now you're like, hey, so I'm back in the States. Maybe we can work together. Like, oh, we're going to LA. Like, that sounds better than me going back to Japan.
You know what? So, after my last match, I was like thinking like, okay, this cannot be the last time that I even wrestle for TJPW. This can't be the last time that I'm in Japan, period. So when I came back home, I was just like thinking about it, waiting it out. And, I saw that a few other, people from here were getting announced, like Billy was getting announced to
Yep.
do the TJPW show, Trish. And so I was like, all right, cool. Like they're bringing some people in. Let me wait, like, cause like I haven't even thought about even wrestling for Mania. And so they hit me up like not too long after like I arrived back home, and they let me know like, hey, like they want to bring you in for Mania. Are you gonna go? I'm like, yes. I'm gonna go. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
I would love to. But yeah, I'm so excited because I get to see the girls again, and some of them it's gonna be the first time over here, and they told me when I was over there, like they're so nervous to be over here. So I want to be there for them, and I want to make it comfortable, like a comfortable experience and everything. So I'm so excited.
That's awesome. Because, yeah, I did see
Yeah.
TJPW's Twitter account, and each one of the women were practicing their English and videos being posted on their Twitter
Yeah.
account. If you want to check that out, because obviously,
Yeah.
going anywhere and not knowing the language can cause a sense of urgency
Oh my
inside
God.
you, or little butterflies. But obviously, you'll be there to help them out, and they'll supply shoes for you if you need them. Though that
Yeah.
I think that's going to be an awesome show because that whole week, that whole weekend, it's not just now. Obviously, WrestleMania is a Saturday and Sunday event at night, but that's not really. If you're going to LA for wrestling, you can watch any federation that exists currently in the world, in the universe. They will be there, from Progress to GCW to Tokyo Joshi Pro to Stardom to New Japan to Impact to NWA to everybody and their
Mhm.
mother is going to be there. So I think
Mhm.
March 31st is an event that we don't want to miss for Tokyo Joshi Pro, but also if you're interested in other events, there's so much
Oh
happening.
yeah.
And I imagine that everybody's going to bump into somebody and be like, hey, I know you. Oh, hey, I know you.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy
Oh
when you
yeah.
walk in the streets and you're like, oh my God, what's John Cena just walking the streets doing here? That's weird.
Yeah, it's always like that. It was like that last year too. So it's like a family reunion in a
Yes,
sense.
we're all in our bubble together, and we
Yeah.
can all fight in the streets versus fighting on Twitter.
Yeah.
Uh, is WWE though a goal for you? Because I know you worked in AEW last year against Jade Cargill, and that was a match that was really well put together. And I love Jade, and I think she's a huge superstar. But with WWE being WrestleMania weekend, like, you think there's more eyeballs checking talent out to see, who should we bring in?
I would hope so because I mean, like it would be great for like to have eyes on us again because it's just been like a lot of like, they haven't been taking a lot of indie wrestlers, but if anything, that would be great if they have their eyes on us as a whole, like all the indie wrestlers, because there's just so many of us that have potential, like to even be on TV or do that style. For me, like my mindset going in Mania is just really representing my style and who I am, and for more people, of course, to discover me. But I always go in thinking, all right, I'm doing this for like myself in a sense, where like I want to go back to Japan. Like I have other things in mind. I don't really like to distract myself and think like, oh, what if like someone's gonna be there and like I'm not gonna be good enough or whatever. Like I just that's my mindset really. But again, like it would be pretty cool for them or like one of their representatives to show up at a show, to show up at TJPW even if they wanted to. Like that would be really great because I know AEW like they really have been bringing in the TJPW girls, so it'd be great to see WWE like kind of like have their eye on that too.
You alluded to it for a second ago where you were underneath the impression that the WWE isn't really taking in independent wrestlers anymore. They're taking in collegiate athletes from high schools and colleges right off the bat versus someone who's a trained professional wrestler like yourself, but then having to like I don't know, the idea it seems like the WWE style, like they want you to go to their performance center and learn their way versus perform how you
Mhm.
are. Is that the sense you believe with a lot of independent wrestlers that there is a AEW is the more open opportunity of, hey, it doesn't matter where you are and where you come from versus WWE, which is like, hey, I don't think they're going to take in more independent wrestlers anymore after they took in so many a few years ago, and it kind of a little backfired on them.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious because they kind of already said that themselves. Like WWE said, like they were looking more at these type of people to bring in, which I get. Like they were doing that back in the day too. They were bringing people that had no wrestling background, like more so like bodybuilding or football, like as their background. Like that's what's happened back in the day. So it's all good. And then like AEW again, like they've been more open. They have Dark, they have Elevation, bringing all the indie talent, and then working more with certain indie talent and trying to test them out and like spotlight them a little bit more, which is cool. So yeah, like there's that difference right there for sure.
And then, of course, you have Ring of Honor opening up one more
Yeah,
time, finally getting some TV time. I know recently they taped some matches for the show
yeah,
coming up. And then, a few weeks after that, there'll be more events. And then, again, in LA that weekend, there's a Ring of Honor pay-per-view happening at, I think, 4
yeah.
o'clock in the afternoon. So there's
Mm.
shows are, if again, we mentioned earlier, shows are from happening from like 6 in the morning until 6 in the morning the next day. There is no
Yeah,
nonstop wrestling. If you are up drinking or partying or just being awake without having any substances in your body, you are going to all these events because there's so much wrestling. That's
yeah.
going to be crazy. So is there an opportunity you think since you work with AEW that you and Ring of Honor can hook up and again be part of that brand as well?
Um, I never say never. I mean, I did Ring of Honor a couple of years ago, like right when they announced that, they were just ending everything.
Mm.
I was doing the tapings and I did like 2 matches. And so like just having that experience, I guess, there's an open door, I think, to like go back because I did come in at a very weird time. And
Yeah.
so I would kind of like to continue and come back since they're back.
Man, God, there's just so much potential. There's so much going on with you. And I think, again, Tokyo Joshi Pro, perfect fit because they are an outstanding organization. I love them so much. And I did talk to Maki Ito as well in an interview, and she was just so much fun to talk to. I needed
Hmm.
an interpreter though, obviously, but
Yeah.
we obviously still had a great conversation and a good time. So
Yeah.
if anyone wants to check out her, she's amazing. A great singer as well. A great singer as well. I think that was the first question I asked her. I was like, so I love your singing, but what's up with it? And she was, she was on a contest show, and that's what that she was a singer on those, so that she just brought that over to her wrestling background. So that's just great. But I gotta say, it's been such a pleasure sitting here talking to the Kick Demon. Remember, her weakness is Legos, folks. That's her weakness. Really, anything like glass, tacks, crumbs of a cookie, like. Just don't. I seriously, that was the first thing I wrote down. I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to talk to him. And so you're barefoot. How is this?
Yeah.
How is this situation treating you when there's glass or tags from GCW? And clearly, the broom gimmick needs to come out. You know what? I take back my TM. No more trademarked. I've handed it off to you. It's a legal binding verbal contract. Use the broom if you must to save your feet. Just saying.
Yes.
Just saying. Just saying.
I'm gonna
Again,
bring that really wide broom too,
yeah,
that
that's
one
the
that
only one.
knocks you.
I wasn't imagining like I'm talking about like getting in there, getting in there. I love it so much. From the kick demon to the broom demon, thank you so much for being here on Tancon. I've been Steve Fall. She is going to have a broom and she's going to beat people up with it too. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.